brighten up those already bright mornings. Ollie and Lecter, mornings at the cabin.
Mornings at the cabin, indeed. Wheeler, Lecter, Ollie, and Sarah with you on your Thursday morning. It is a beautiful morning out there. In fact, I wore a hoodie to work because it's cool outside. It's too hot in the room. It's a little stifling, as a matter of fact. It is Thursday, and you know what that means? It's Teen Burger Thursday. And you say, wait, A&W is not open yet. Ha-ha! Shut up. A&W is open for takeout only. We can get Teen Burgers starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. Can't wait. But you know what we do have already? New reporter Emily brought in some baked goods yesterday. And not to be outdone, Sarah brought in her own bacon and cheese scones. Was that what it was?
Green onions.
Bacon and green onion scones. Okay, you have to get closer to the mic.
Do I have to repeat it again?
What are they?
Oh my God, they're bacon and cheese scones.
That's what I said.
With green onion.
With green onion.
Thank you, Ollie.
Oh my Lord! So we've got cookies, banana bread, bacon and cheese and onion scones.
Quite a spread out there.
Right? It's quite a spread.
All right.
Add
Very
Tiger.
excited for us to take a ride
Absolutely.
off
Well, she's feasting herself. Add Teen Burgers to the mix, and there you go.
And you were so excited, you almost started the show 4 minutes early.
I did. Yeah, I saw the last song. I was like, everybody in here, let's go. And I look at the time, I was like, oh, okay. So then I added a song, and now we're a minute and a half late.
That would have been the first time in Mornings at the Cabin history
That we started early?
started early.
I don't think so. We've started early
No, a
before.
couple of times
By
it's
third.
played the intro music when none of us were looking.
That's
and
right.
we've had to run in here at 6:56 and be like, oh, hey, everybody,
Or
we
what-
totally were expecting this.
Yeah, that's right. Breaking news, we're early.
Mornings at the cabin, the podcast.
The studio is filled with the sights and sounds and smells of a bakery. That's right. Like we said earlier, a little banana bread, some cookies, and Sarah brought in bacon and cheese and green onion scones. I haven't tucked into mine yet, but it looks delicious.
It's like a pizza.
It's like a pizza.
It might as well be a bacon and cheese pizza.
I love it.
It is far more like a slice. I mean, it's even like triangular, like wedge-shaped. It may as well be from a pizza.
It looks great. I can't wait to tuck into it. I'm still nibbling on my banana bread. I've got my coffee here. We are replete.
Well, that's the general shape of a scone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scone. How do you guys
like a
pronounce
triangle.
it? Scone? Scone?
Scone.
Do you
We
want
say
it to be like
scone.
circular, like biscuits?
Scone.
Yeah,
Are you
like
getting it all wrong?
yeah. I mean, like this is just another issue where North Americans don't understand the world. Scones are circular,
Oh, are they?
and yeah, and it's pronounced scone.
As a matter of fact, scone means circle.
Well, I am very excited to eat this scone.
Yeah.
It looks delicious
Scone.
in its perfect triangle shape,
Yeah.
as it was meant to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The only way to eat a scone is the Canadian way.
If I don't finish it, perhaps I'll wrap it in some aluminum, put it in the fridge. I don't know why I would use aluminum,
Yeah.
but here we are.
Get your vitamins in. Now, would there be scones in England that would have bacon and cheese and green onion?
Yeah, probably. I mean, the thing is that this is why I enjoy this particular scone that we have in front of us here. I don't really like scones.
Oh.
They're a little bit like crumbly and dry.
Yeah,
normally.
crumbly and dry. Absolutely.
You ever
I'm
had
not
the Fat
that-
Fox scones?
I'm not that.
Oh, yes.
Those are all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
With the
good.
clotted cream.
But even those, they're not my favorite thing.
Okay.
These, on the other hand, this is just a pizza.
How dare you?
Yeah.
So I'm very
All
happy.
the cheese.
This is just cheese and grease and animal.
Oh, I love it. Cheese and grease and animal. Well, it's animal, grease, and animal then. None of us vegans here.
No.
That is
No.
clear enough.
Yeah.
Not to judge.
No,
No judgment.
not at all.
Not at all. Probably coming the other way. Now, so this, Sarah, if you don't mind me saying, they smell delicious. They look delicious. We know of your prowess in baking and cooking in general. Like, you always bring us treats. This one seems in response to Emily's bringing in treats. Care to comment?
No, I just needed something to eat last night.
Okay. So you made up a whole schwack of scones.
It takes 20 minutes.
I just needed
20 minutes?
10 scones to eat last night.
You can't make just one.
Yeah, that's right. You can't bake just
That
one.
would be silly.
That would be
Okay.
silly. So it takes 20 minutes to make these? That
Yeah.
seems...
Well, maybe more like 25 because they bake for about 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Because to me...
They don't
this-
have very many ingredients.
Oh, yeah, I'm
The
sure they
rest.
don't. But I mean,
Animal, cheese, and more animal. We've
and
been
flour.
through this.
That's right. And
There
flour.
are a few green onions. They look healthy with green onions.
Okay, you tell yourself that.
I'm going to tell myself that. It's like when I eat apple pie for breakfast. I'm like, well, it has apples in it, so it's healthy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Put some cheese on there. You get your dairy.
Are
fruit.
you a cheese on apple pie
Hell
kind
yes,
of person?
man.
Okay.
Hell yes. A
Interesting.
slice of old cheddar, scoop of vanilla ice cream on your.
I never got that.
It's so good. It's the sweet. It's the,
You guys-
it's the sweet and the salty and the
Cheese on
I
apple
didn't
pie?
even know that was a
I've heard of
thing.
it, but I
People
don't
do
think I've
that.
done
So
it.
good.
More
Yeah.
of like an ice cream and apple pie person.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Oh, but
it's.
I brought a couple apple pies camping when we went camping over May 1. We heated them up with a fire.
And someone was mad that you didn't have
What?
enough cheese, right?
You know, when I go camping, I buy a 24-pack of hot dogs and a 12-pack of buns. That's me. And she's like, I brought a couple of apple pies that we can all have. It's like,
Yeah. I have a granola bar in my pocket, too. But that just happened.
That's
I didn't
right.
actually pack
That's right.
that.
Last camping trip, it was just like, well, I got a chocolate bar and a Gatorade. I'll probably be okay. I'll probably be all right.
5 days later.
Yeah, and a 2-6 and a flat of beer. We're only gone for the night. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Wait.
why I brought a granola bar.
I'm sorry. I have to get back to the apple pie with cheese thing.
Absolutely,
It's plagued me for years.
Try it.
My dad has always done
it's a
it.
Canadian. Well, it seems like an older Canadian thing. It's something my dad got me into.
Your dad did it. Okay.
Yeah. So he,
All right.
you get that slice of apple pie. You put a slice of cheese on it. Put it in the microwave. You melt the cheese a little bit. There you go. It's the
Oh.
sweet and salty. is
Well,
what it
that's
is.
one step further. My dad never did that.
Well,
Melting of
the pie should
Never
be hot.
melted the cheese.
The pie
No,
should be hot enough
no.
if it's coming right out of the oven that the cheese should melt itself.
Yeah.
Right? But
But that's a one-time thing.
it's delicious.
After that, you got to go microwave.
I love Cabin
Interesting.
Kitchen.
Yeah, this
My
is
favorite segment.
no the cabin kitchen should feels like a little bit of an NPR moment. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put some cinnamon in there, some nutmeg. Just breathe it in.
I think they can hear you.
It smells so good.
Your NPR has got a bit clearer.
Yeah, I know.
You used to be too quiet.
I
Now
know.
you're right up there.
Right up there.
Yeah.
Right up there. It's almost an ASMR kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know? When we go camping, I like to pack a little potpourri into my pockets just to kind of keep a fresh feeling throughout the weekend. Now, campfire smell is really nice. And but if you want to get out of your clothes as soon as you get home, because I don't like it lingering for too long, you're going to want to use a little potpourri in your laundry, and a dash of cinnamon is what that's my secret.
Oh.
Don't tell anybody. No one's listening to this anyway.
I hate the
Anyway.
post-shower campfire smell.
So no, I don't think I baked the scones.
Okay. Circling back. Sarah, did
All
not
I'm saying
like,
It is not.
defend my baking territory. But I do
No.
feel like over this course of the last few months of the pandemic, I've had just only cook for myself,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I very much miss sharing with people. So I'm
it's
starting to make up
wonderful.
for that.
No, and we absolutely love it. Thank you so much.
But you didn't do it till the day after everything did it.
I
We've
actually
been back for
I
days.
brought soup in on Tuesday night, and I was going to offer it to people on Wednesday. And I
But you
forgot,
didn't.
But it's in the fridge.
But you didn't. You waited until someone else.
I've been sharing the same banana bread recipe that Emily brought in with AJ and his roommate multiple
Oh,
times.
okay. So you're responsible for
recent,
this banana
like,
bread as well.
In the last
Oh.
That's what you're saying.
Pardon?
You're responsible for the banana bread as well.
I don't think so. I don't think she could
Just
have had
take
any way of
credit.
knowing
Just
that
take
I've
credit.
been sharing that same banana bread with AJ.
But I like that you're not ruling it out.
Yeah,
I like that
that's right. You haven't said decisively. No, that's not why I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You're just like, I don't think it's that, but I just felt like baking.
I don't think other people are copying my baking greatness, but I have to allow for the fact that they may be copying my lead. Okay, yeah,
Very
we
I
got
have to
humble.
remind everyone I'm still here.
For whatever reason she did it. Jealousy, spite, whatever. And positive reasons too, just wanting to share. We reap the benefits.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
Back at it in Studio One. So good to be back here in the friendly confines.
It's the first time I've ever heard a John Prine song.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. Until
until
this
he
is sad
passed.
to say, until he passed away, I'd
Yeah.
never heard of
Okay.
him.
I was going to say, you
No,
weren't
absolutely.
listening the day he died. We played like 4.
We played a bunch of them.
Missed
Yeah.
him. Sorry.
Now,
No, and fair enough. He is one of these huge legends of music that never really achieved mainstream success, but is absolutely beloved by everybody in the business.
Well, yeah, I mean, I listened to that.
Right.
I was having great fun listening
Yeah,
to it.
no, he's
But I
wonderful.
genuinely, I read about his death and I understood that he'd occupied this really big space
Yeah.
in the musical pantheon for people. But I hadn't heard stuff, and I kept thinking to myself, I should go and listen to it because clearly this is something I should learn more about. And then that came on, and I had to go and check the app because I don't know who this is. And then it came, I said, John Prine. Oh,
right.
finally, I get a sense of what I should have been listening to.
I was very late to the John Prine party as well, so don't feel too
I
bad.
was
Okay.
too. Yeah. My mother introduced me to him maybe 10 years ago.
I mean, that's not late by my books. That's
It's pretty late. I mean,
10 years ago.
what? Yeah, but I mean, he'd been around for Good enough time. I mean, it's
But we
late.
haven't.
I know. It was 10 years ago, so
That's a long time.
I was just a pup at 28 years old.
I think you were there right from the beginning.
I might have been. Well, that's the thing. I might have been hearing it all this time and just not knowing what it was.
I don't
Being
think
like,
anyone
hey,
heard
that's-
John Prine until 10 years ago. I'll be
Okay.
honest.
Yeah, well, he just came out about 10 years ago. So, good stuff. Speaking of heroic singers, we know since it's a pretty good segue.
That's good.
We know that since the beginning of the pandemic, people have been showing their support for frontline workers, nurses and doctors especially. We saw it in Italy, we saw it in Spain, we saw it in Vancouver, Toronto, even here, clanging pots.
Right on COVID corner.
Right in COVID corner, giving applause, letting them know that we appreciate everything they do. Some doctors and nurses not super crazy about it. Whatever. It's a nice show of support. So that's been going on, and it kind of, just like anything else in the news cycle, it pops up. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's really nice," and then it kind of goes away. And I'm sure, like, the support is still there, but people are maybe not clapping and clanging pots or singing every night anymore.
Yeah.
As we've kind of been through this for about 60 days.
We're doing like a verse now, not going into the verse chorus.
Exactly.
Bridge.
Yeah. Just,
You know,
yeah. Exactly.
just,
Yeah. One verse.
Yeah.
And then a deep breath right before you go to the chorus and go, "Good night, everybody," and
That's
then
right.
walk off the stage. Yeah. Don't give them what they want. So in Vancouver, there's still a lot of support going on. People are still singing. People are clanging pots and clapping, which is really nice, of course. One singer taking it, well, her neighbors think she's taking it a little too far. Her name is Patricia Faith. She lives in East Vancouver, and she has been singing on the deck of her condo every night for 20 minutes. Which
20 minutes.
some people think is a little excessive. So she got a letter from her condo board saying, "You're in violation of Strata bylaw 2, if you've ever dealt with Strata."
What's Strata?
It's
I don't know what that
like
is.
a condo, it's a condo board or something, I think.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And anyway, but,
Sounds
like,
awful.
Condo rules in Vancouver are strict and stupid. Like things like not being able to, park your bike, store your bike on your balcony in your condo, or have anything really, like no Christmas lights dangling from your balcony, stuff like that.
That's
really
an eyesore.
silly ass rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people are still singing every night for what she's saying is about 5 minutes. So she's saying that the other people do it for 5 minutes. She does it for 20. She gets out there on her deck with a speaker and a microphone, and she sings her song.
Hang on.
What?
With a speaker and a microphone.
That's right. She's out there because, Ollie, before you continue, it's because the SkyTrain's too loud.
Oh, God.
Drowns her out.
Drowns her out. She's got to get above the SkyTrain.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, but there is a line here, isn't there, that you
Yes,
just
there is.
start to sense that someone might be crossing.
Yep.
At any time that your appreciation for like frontline healthcare workers requires digital amplification, there is a suggestion that maybe a socially accepted line has just been crossed. Now, on a broader note, is Vancouver the Florida of Canada?
No.
For news stories. In terms of, like,
for news
Vancouver,
stories.
man, and you're like, oh, this is going to be good.
No,
I feel like
I feel like-
Vancouver is always the source of, like, someone doing something
Vancouver
and people getting
is-
grumpy about it.
Is
Okay.
definitely a source of that. There's a lot of, there's so much disparity in Vancouver. It's like some of the richest neighborhoods in the city, in the country, some of the poorest neighborhoods in the country, and those two are often at odds. Like one of the poorest neighborhoods in the country is downtown East Vancouver, and it's like literally a block away from a Louis Vuitton and all this really upscale stuff. So there's a lot of butting of heads. West Vancouver's got its head up its butt. That's usually the thing. I lived there for 6 years, and that's pretty much the case. North Vancouver and West Vancouver are kind of jerks, and that's just the way it is. So I think that a lot of it comes from that. So there's a lot of Karen type behavior versus a lot of just kind of gross behavior as well. Yeah. So
Right.
I mean, there are stories that like this that come out of Vancouver a lot, where it's just people like, well, I don't really like what they're doing, so I'm going to ask them to stop. And this is what's going on right now. So she is, like I said, singing for 20 minutes. And the article I pulled up on CTV News is great. There's a paragraph in here where it says, Faith sings for at least 20 minutes when most people stop showing their support to frontline workers after 5 minutes. She also uses a speaker because the noise from the passing SkyTrain drowns out her voice.
Well, why is she stopping at 20?
All right,
is
might
that
as
all
well
the
keep
support
going.
she's got in her?
Well, she's a professional singer. She's apparently toured with like Canadian Broadway shows and things like
What's
this.
her name again?
Does she take a break when the SkyTrain goes by? Or just
I don't know. I think she sings louder.
Cranks it to 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is she singing?
I don't like. So there's the clip. I couldn't hear what she was singing, and I imagine that's by design.
She should turn it up a little bit.
That's right.
Because of the SkyTrain. Yeah, exactly. So, her property management company is saying the complaints received are regarding loud and excessive noise levels. The thing is, how many polite complaints did you have from your neighbors before you got sent a letter from your entire condo board saying, "Listen,
Right.
you got to stop."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not too many.
Maybe
No,
not.
maybe
Yeah,
would
maybe,
be like-
maybe one or two. But somebody come to the door, can you stop? And she's like, "Go to hell!" And then she screams. What I'm worried about is that it's going to stop being songs, and she'll just go into some sort of communist manifesto or something like that. You know what I mean?
There's a
Start
simple
street
solution
preaching.
to this. It's called a bigger amplifier.
That's right.
And you get yours, and you put it on the balcony next to hers.
Yeah.
And at about 6:59 each evening, you queue up basically like the best of SkyTrain.
It's a nice thing to do. It just seems excessive. 20 minutes every night seems excessive. Right around dinner time.
Yeah.
And I just do love that paragraph. When most people stop showing their support, they stop.
great.
They stop showing their support.
Yeah.
They're not carrying that support any further than the 5 minutes they've sung.
Bunch of quitters.
Once that 5 minutes is up, they're like, you know what? Doctors and nurses can stuff it.
I mean, like 5 minutes nightly
It's perfect.
is a pretty solid
Yeah,
go.
that's a good
Considering
that's
that,
one song.
I'm just saying, and I know this is not quite equivalent, but for like, the fallen military of various world wars, we do like a minute a year.
Yeah.
So like 5 minutes a night for
minutes
frontline
a night.
workers. It's like,
yeah.
A minute of silence.
yeah. Except for the noise of the SkyTrain rumbling above.
Can we just stop the SkyTrain? It's drowning out our
That
silence.
disrespectful SkyTrain.
Of course, she brings up the fact that people, like, passers-by really like it. Blow her and kisses, clapping, and she finds it very touching, which it is. But of course, there's going to be people who, like, if there's someone singing on the corner of the street, people are going to walk by. It's like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they love it. They're
That's
just like,
probably
that's nice,
that's probably the first time they heard her.
exactly.
In the
They're
middle
not listening to it 20 minutes a night, every night. So like, oh, that's really nice. You ever do that? You're walking down the street and it's like, that's really nice, and you don't think about how, like, if I had to listen to that every night though,
Yeah.
I don't think I think it was that nice.
Yeah.
Well, you will note that it took Wilfrid Laurier like 2 years to decide,
That's right.
you know what? We've had enough now of listening to the morning show from the next door studios. Will you please put in this rather large extra wall that we now have in Studio 1?
Well, most morning shows stop showing their support after 1 hour. Cabin radio stretches it to 2.
2 hours. Yeah, that's right. That's a beautiful piece of this article.
I had
when most people stop showing their support. Oh
Oh,
God.
it's so perfect. I had a boss that I worked for back in the day who had a neighbor who just on a weekly basis, not even an everyday basis, but he had like a grand piano and fancied himself quite a singer.
Yeah.
And I guess every Sunday morning he would wake up at like 9 a.m. sharp, open the windows, and just bust into Burton Cummings' Stand Tall. And I just think that sounded like the most wonderful Sunday wake up ever.
No.
My boss he did not share that opinion, and I have to think it was because it was every Sunday. So then you multiply that by 7.
Yep. He wasn't a guess who fan.
That's a lot of Stand Tall.
So-
Oh my God.
The end of this story is she says doctors and nurses are healing us, and they deserve 20 minutes a day.
What a patriot.
She sounds like a nice lady.
Yeah.
She sounds like she's doing something really nice. Do they deserve it from you?
Does she do a fresh set
I
every
don't
day,
know.
or is it just the same song?
Like,
Tonight I'm
naked
gonna-
as a singer. Like,
Tonight I'm going to play some originals,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
God.
there's going to be some of the old stuff as well. Yeah.
And people walk by. No new stuff. Play the classics. Want to hear anything off your new album? Patricia, more power to you. Keep doing what you're doing. Remember, when everybody in the world is telling you you're wrong, keep going.
Cabin Radio's morning show podcast. All the best chat, none of the embarrassing mistakes.
All of us here for you. Who are we? You don't know, and you don't need to know. Although last night you probably got a nice little deep check into Ollie Williams' life if you listened to Clams and Moose. How did it all go? I did not listen.
I caught the start of the second half, and then I was like,
I know all this stuff already.
Yeah, you know the story.
No, I mean, I was actually wondering how was it, because they made a good point yesterday. You share some things of yourself, but you do play a lot of things close to the chest. Was it kind of more of an open forum? Did you kind of?
We talked a lot about lobsters.
Lobsters. Okay, so Jordan Peterson stuff then.
What?
Nothing. Well, are we? Well, I'll take a listen to it. We've got it here, right? So I mean,
I tuned in and you were talking about how journalists were trying to be too exciting rather than just taking the news of the day and making it digestible for the regular people. Those are the real heroes in journalism. And then he said some really nice stuff about all the people who work at Cabin Radio. It's like, that's all I needed to hear.
He always says that. So boring.
Yeah, I just basically got on my soapbox for a couple of hours. If you want to just hear someone rant, I actually was listening to it last night, and in the middle of the first hour, I thought to myself, I should really shut up.
God, shut up, Ollie. No, and I mean, like, it is very hard when you get into an actual personal interview and people are actually asking you, like, clear, concise, kind of inviting questions, inviting you to kind of get on that soapbox. It's tough to step off it sometimes.
Well, and
I'm the same way, obviously. I don't know if you know this. Allow me to interject.
I was going to say, are you done? I was listening to myself last night and caught myself using a verbal tick, which is the first time I've ever heard myself do this. I kept using the word like as a joining word.
Yeah,
and I would sort of be talking like this and then like just drop them in every now and again. Like every time I heard one, like, that had better be the last one. And then another one would come a minute later, like, no, why are these coming? And I've never heard myself do that before.
Like, why do I keep saying that?
Exactly. Of all the stereotypes to suddenly discover that you are, it was just very mortally wounding to my professional pride.
Very North American. Very North American thing.
I was actually a little devastated to hear myself do that. Mm-hmm. And I'm now, like, I just did it! What fell out? I am going to have to work so hard at this. I'm going to have to retrain myself. I'm going to have to go to some sort of, I don't know, Chinese re-education facility and just allow myself to be fully re-educated in how to broadcast without using verbal tics, because I have not heard myself do that before, and now I can't stop.
That's why we do air checks.
Yeah, like whatever, man. You know? Anyway, moving on to what we were going to talk about. Enough about Ollie Williams, but back to Ollie Williams. Ollie, it's time for another segment we like to call Without Knowing Precisely What's Going On with Ollie Williams. Ollie, well, there's no music for this, is there?
No. I got no part of this.
Oh, your mouse isn't working.
Yeah, my computer's not working
there
anyway.
We do need to come up with a theme song for this.
All right.
So, Ollie, without knowing precisely what's going on at the Legislative Assembly?
We haven't got a clue because they won't tell us.
That's right. So Katrina Knockleby is facing a motion to remove her from cabinet, and we don't really know why. Steve Norn introduced the motion on Wednesday, calling for Knockleby to be stripped of her position on the Executive Council, or as cabinet is known, but didn't describe why.
The reason Steve Norn brought forward the motion is that he has to. He's the chair of the Accountability and Oversight Committee.
Yeah.
That is all 11 regular MLAs.
Yes.
So that committee is just a fancy name for saying everyone who's not in government.
So it's someone else who brought it to him, and he had to bring it up.
If a majority of people on that 11-person committee want this to come forward, he has to introduce the motion,
I understand,
whether or not he's one of the majority of people who wanted it.
Very good.
So it is important to point out that it doesn't necessarily mean Steve Norn even agrees with it, but it's his job to bring it forward, regardless.
He's just the bearer of bad news.
He's just the messenger.
Okay. Don't shoot the messenger.
Okay. All right.
But the problem is that, and this is extraordinary by any political standards, even the NWT's fairly lax political standards, this is still quite extraordinary. Nobody will say why they want Katrina Knockleby removed, which is so strange, because it makes everyone involved look rather juvenile and incredibly disorganized. Because if you have enough people wanting this minister removed, that you must have at least 6. That's a majority of this committee. So that'll get this done. There must be at least 6 regular MLAs that want this to happen. Otherwise, it couldn't be a thing. Now, I, last night, phoned as many of them as I had numbers for, and everybody I emailed all of them in a group email, and basically said so. And I'm almost word for word on this email, having kind of a hard time finding any of you prepared to tell me what's going on here. If you'd like to get in touch and explain to me the rationale for wanting the minister removed, or the whether you'll be supporting it or not, give me a call or an email anytime. Here's how to get hold of me. Not one of the 11 directly responded to that. Julie Green eventually texted me with the five-word sentence, no comment at this time. And Ryland Johnson wrote back to me on Facebook Messenger to say, I'm going to hold a constituency meeting tomorrow. By which he means tonight now.
Right.
Which, fine, is possibly slightly better than anybody else is doing. But for an MLA that campaigned on a platform of radical honesty, waiting 36 hours and then having a behind-closed-doors constituency meeting,
well, transparency.
Yeah.
Not necessarily honesty.
Yeah, transparency.
He might lie, but he's going to tell you about it.
Okay, well, we won't say that.
Behind closed doors constituency meeting?
So in other words, like, did you hear that?
Kind of.
Yeah.
There was
say
a.
like
I
again?
said like again.
No.
In other words, Ryland up until now has live streamed all of his constituency meetings so that anyone can watch them. Tomorrow's, you will have to write to him or his constituency assistant to get the details to be able to go to it, and you won't be able to watch it live. Why?
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And
Should go
don't
to
get
that.
me wrong. I already have the login details for that. Don't you worry. I don't understand. I don't understand this at all. Why is this all behind closed doors?
Right.
Why is this so cloak and dagger? A lot of these people were elected on the premise that the last set from 2015 to 2019 were all very furtive, secretive, backstabby, forever bickering with each other, not getting anything really done. Even Kieran Testart last night, and if Kieran Testart's pointing out the failings in your political, like, day-to-day life, I'm just saying, even Kieran Testart last night said, and they called us divisive. At least we waited a good couple of years and then gave two ministers no confidence motions with things we could clearly point to.
Right.
Like Wally Schumann, for example, had the sea lift go wrong.
Yeah.
And that was a very obvious thing. Glenn Abernathy had the Child Protection Services report the week before his no confidence motion. It was very clear why there was a no confidence motion. You could agree or disagree with it, but you could at least know where it was coming from.
Right.
It's very strange to have a no confidence motion like this with not one person able to explain why. And I don't understand that. And we will find out more on Friday. On Friday, they have to have a debate at the legislature, and there's going to be a vote. The way that vote works, you probably need 10 votes either way to get somebody to either
Ousted.
keep her or oust her. Cabinet is always very likely to vote together, although this is a test of that for the first time in this government, bearing in mind that one of the cabinet members' fathers is seconding the motion.
Yes. And owes $2 million to BDIC.
And who's the Minister of BDIC?
Katrina Knockleby!
So let's talk conflicts of interest.
Yes.
If you are a regular MLA whose personal company owes a couple of $1 million to the Business Development and Investment Corporation, should you be able to second a motion for the removal of the minister of that corporation? I'm going to go ahead and say, and
Probably
the
not.
even the managing editor of Northern News Services wrote an article about this last night. That does not look great. If that was happening in any other country, let's take, for example, let's say that was happening in Burundi. Everybody would look at that and say, look at that typical example of a developing country that's full of corruption and their politicians can't be trusted as far as you can throw them. This guy owes this government agency millions of dollars, and now he's trying to get the minister in charge of the agency removed. And oh, how we would laugh and think, oh, thank God that couldn't happen here.
Yeah, backward Burundi is what we'd say.
Yeah.
That's a real country, eh? Sorry, go on.
Right there in the bees.
Go on.
There's not many bee countries. One of them.
Bhutan, Botswana,
Belarus.
I've heard of those.
Belize,
See, Ollie,
Brazil.
you could just go with one of those. You don't have to make up a country to make your point. Jeez.
Botswana. Did you say Botswana?
Yes, I said Botswana. Okay. Returning to the point.
No,
It
I mean,
looks-
it's the point of this entire story.
It looks
That's
awful.
like the point.
It's...
Okay, I'm not enjoying this. It looks awful.
It does.
Is the thing.
It looks
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's the first thing that jumps out at you in the story. Is like, well, that's anyone looking at it, even without knowing precisely what's going on, can look at that and go, well, that doesn't seem that seems odd.
It's also at least two guys putting forward a motion to remove a female minister.
There's
6 months into a majority female cabinet.
So, okay, but going back to what you're talking about, and the previous governments did the same way, infighting, divisiveness, secrecy, all that stuff, is that just the way the game is played? And there's a couple people out here who are trying to maybe play it a different way, and it's not going that well.
Well,
I mean, who knows? I mean, we can't speculate, but I mean, like,
we can't speculate, but the most important thing is it's not a game.
Yeah.
It's... No, whether it is... Okay, that's good. It shouldn't be a game. Let me correct myself.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good point. People treat it like a game.
Yeah.
And we have seen politicians in the past, I'm sure we can all think of their names immediately, not only at territorial level, but at national level as well, who clearly treat politics as though it is some sort of spectator sport.
Yeah.
And...
Something to do to get somewhere else as well.
Yeah, and just a thing where it's all a game. It's all like fun and games, and let's have the drama of trying to remove a minister, regardless of whether doing so in the middle of a pandemic when at least 2 departments would have to get a brand new minister up to speed after just 6 months in the middle of all of this.
With no one in the office.
Whether that's any use to anybody. Let's give it a go anyway. Now, it's very weird to do that and then not even, frankly, have the guts to come out and say, yep, I'm one of the people who's in favor of this, and here's why. And they're all going to have to do it on Friday, but by the time they do it on Friday, their constituents can no longer get in touch with them to explain how they feel.
Well, and plus the weekend's right around the corner, and we'll all have forgotten about it by Monday.
That's what we're hoping.
Friday afternoon vote, and that'll be that. So I think it's frankly a pretty poor way to run something like this, to not provide the information to your constituents so that they can have a considered opinion and provide feedback to you over what is clearly quite an important decision.
If this gets messier...
Which it may well do.
Absolutely.
Can we start making Game of Thrones, Game of Cabinets comparisons, liking characters with our MLA?
Yeah.
I honestly think some of them think they're in it. They're in some sort of Game of Thrones. And the sad fact is they've chosen what should, if they're doing it right, be a very boring profession.
Right.
I don't know what they thought they signed up for. But the bad news for them is that most of their job is scrutinizing budgets, examining things to ensure that cabinet members are held accountable, and taking, frankly, quite similar issues from a wide range of different constituents to the various departments to get individual people's problems solved. If you want glory, and if you want to be famous, don't go be an MLA. Go do something else. Because the point of being a public servant as a politician in an elected role is to go and do very boring stuff that the rest of us don't want to do. Don't go around and behind closed doors start to try and get ministers unseated without telling us why. That's not helping anybody. And it's really frustrating to see it handled so poorly, particularly when some of those regular MLAs are seasoned politicians who've done this for a long time and forever criticize the territorial government for not being transparent and accountable.
Super hard to make money that way.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Spring is finally here, or whatever you want to call this.
It's spring.
Winter's afterbirth.
Yeah.
And Slow Pitch is just around the corner. The AGM's been pushed to June 6th. Lecter will be in on that call to figure out what the hell is going on and whether or not we're going to be able to have a season.
That's right.
It sounds promising. We're allowed to play cricket. We're allowed to play basketball and get all up in Mike Gibbons' sweaty pits. I imagine we can play a little Slow Pitch. That guy could dunk, buddy.
Are we allowed to play basketball? Was that on the...
I think we are allowed to play basketball.
When the Phase 1 list of sports and outdoor activities came out, that was allowed. I pretty much read down, got to Slow Pitch. I was like, yep, good enough.
Good. Yeah, no frolf on
That's
there,
all
though.
I needed
No
to see.
Frisbee golf.
No. Ultimate Frisbee, though.
Ultimate Frisbee.
Made it. But that's a loud community.
Yeah, they are like, yeah, exactly. They lobbied pretty hard.
Oh, yeah. You can't tiptoe around the Ultimate Frisbee community.
That's right.
They insert themselves.
Yeah, you know Brew Wizards? It's kind of like the guys' version of Wine Ninjas. That's just the Ultimate Frisbee Association disguising themselves so they can secretly bribe everyone who's in charge of the Phase 1 rollout. There it is.
So, yes.
You heard it here first.
So there it is, confirmed.
Yep.
Ultimate Frisbee is evil.
Evil.
Kidding, of course.
Of course, you ultimaters.
June 6th, the Slow Pitch AGM.
Yes.
I think it's 2 to 3:30. And if you didn't get an email about this and you're a captain or a manager of a team, you should email ykslowpitch@hotmail.com. They could send you the link.
Hotmail?
And,
What are they, a college student? From 1996?
I have to imagine it's the same address since Slow Pitch started.
The mid-90s. Yeah, that's right.
In Yellowknife.
I remember my Hotmail address in high school.
What was it?
6pack_12.
Six?
I'm joking. That wasn't mine. That was a buddy of mine's, and I made fun of him for it last week. No, mine was Wheeler24. His was related to not like the abs. His was related to volleyball.
Right.
6pack.
You want to know what mine was?
What?
Blonde Bomber 45.
Blonde Bomber.
Everyone thought I was a super hot chick.
Nice. Yeah, I bet they did. Ooh, a bummer. I bet she means bombshell, but she just got it wrong.
Yeah,
that's right. Ooh, yeah. Look at that long hair.
And there were 44 that came before me.
And you only had pictures of yourself from behind, so all they saw was the hair.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. My other one was XXX Stoner 420 69 dude. XXX 464964 at hotmail.com.
And somehow you just remembered it by memory. Yeah, every time you typed it in.
That's exactly right.
No.
And my password was butts.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Slow Pitch AGM.
There it is.
June 6th, 2 to 3:30. Yeah, we're going to find out basically what's going to happen. I can only assume that they have done their due diligence, got all their paperwork lined up, and we are going to have a Slow Pitch season, hopefully shortly thereafter, because, I mean, it's cut a little bit into the spring training, Yeah. I think we're all a little bit out of shape compared to where we were last year.
I know some people have been taking this pandemic and just like working on themselves, and really getting into good shape.
Who's doing that?
I don't know. You?
I've been doing more push-ups.
There you go. There it is.
I want to sock a dinger this year.
You're going to sock a few dingers.
I'm not going to sock a dinger.
You might.
But if I stay on track, who knows?
It's momentum and follow-through, bud. It's not necessarily just strength.
So the Cabin Radio Slow Pitch team is looking forward to its second season.
Yes.
As you know, last year's home run leader played a total of 3 games.
Yes, I did.
Didn't injure yourself.
And didn't hit a home run.
Didn't hit a home run. No. Actually, I know Gavin hit a few.
Yeah, but Gavin wasn't really on the team. And he was like a ringer that like tagged along every now and then.
Well, and then it was actual ringers who hit all our other home runs. That's right. Melanson, Mike Goodwin, who was a former teammate of Mike Gibbons.
If you play fast pitch in the city, you shouldn't be allowed to play slow pitch. Sorry. It's just how I feel about it.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Play whatever you want. It just makes you a cheater. That's all.
I just like watching people who can hit
home
runs.
I know. It's really nice.
Home runs.
Because in slow pitch, it's a long, majestic home run.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's like the closest I'm going to get to watching LeBron James play basketball. Just the best do their thing.
I feel like we could probably see an NBA game at some point.
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, great.
But very much looking forward to practice number 2 tonight.
Tonight, not last night, Samantha Stewart.
Not last night. We had a little bit of confusion already to start.
I really hope she didn't show up last night. Because in the message, the comment thread, it's like, practice tomorrow. And everyone's like, yeah. And then like the third comment was Samantha Stewart going, I'm here.
By everyone, you mean like 3 people. 4 people.
Exactly. Yeah. That's everybody.
So Sam, raring to go.
Yep.
Showed up apparently yesterday. Practices today. So we made sure I made sure to make that clear. It is today. Jesse, will you be there?
No. I work till 6, and then I have plans.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to reschedule practice to suit your schedule.
No, don't do that.
I'm going to do it.
I may not show up either.
Come on.
That's the thing. I'm very injured.
You're not injured.
My elbow's inflamed.
I don't want to hear it.
I had a TMJ flare-up a couple of weeks ago.
That has nothing to do with throwing or hitting.
My jaw locked up.
You don't have to hit the ball with your jaw.
My knee has a pinch in it. I don't know what's going on. No, I do want to come out and hit around and throw around for sure.
Yeah.
I do.
So, what time should I make the practice? And you know what? I'm not even going to call it a practice.
1 o'clock on Sunday afternoons.
We could do that.
No, you guys will be out of the cabin or something.
No, we'll be back.
I'll figure it out. I'll try to make it to something. It's just like 5 is tough because I
don't
get
try.
off work at 6.
Don't try. That's
what I'm saying. Just do
6 o'clock. 6:30.
Not tonight. Huh? I can't go tonight.
Why?
I just said I have plans.
No, you don't.
I do.
What are you doing?
Might be getting my hair cut.
Oh, come on. Your hair looks great.
It doesn't. It looks
Yeah.
like crap and it feels like poop.
You're not getting a haircut.
I don't know.
Come play slow pitch.
Maybe. I said maybe. I can't make it. And you're putting me like I have to tell everybody what I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
I'm coming to slow pitch practice.
All right. The season's off to a great start.
All
already.
right, there we go.
It
All right.
hinged on that decision.
Absolutely. So any of you other slow pitch teams out there, stay away from Fritz Steele because we got it tonight.
Sarah and Ollie
Are not going to play.
absent from the studio conveniently when the slow pitch chat started.
Well, we didn't invite them back in.
Well, that's true.
Because this was supposed to be the short break before we say goodbye for the day. And now it's going on 7 minutes.
All right. Well, we could say goodbye.
Okay. Slow pitch, almost in full swing. Not really. June 6th, AGM. If you want to get, if you are a captain and haven't been contacted, YK Slow Pitch at Hotmail. Sorry, YK Slow Pitch 69 at hotmail.com.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.